never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, 'cause I can't face this day alone. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams.
Or not, we got to get this party started. And it should be a party. Hey, we're celebrating an anniversary. How about that? Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive 1 year ago at this hour. And you probably saw Chad and Josh here and there scrambling behind the scenes as everybody had butterflies. We were kicking off something brand new, trying to put together something akin to a radio program. And we're dealing with guys who had no experience in that. But in fairly short order, we got things up and running. And here we are 1 year later. And right on cue, par for the course, here about 2 hours ago, we didn't know if we were going to be able to get this party started or not. Yeah, I came in to do my show prep, and hey, there's nothing working. There's no internet. So I jump on the horn with Josh, and then I jump on the horn with Kyle, and then they jump on the horn with Cincinnati Bell. And, well, long story short, we had that is a router, I believe they call it, a router failure. Modern technology. If the data's not going through, well, nonetheless, we made it through. Here we are, up and running live. I think everything should be good to go for our 1 year anniversary. And thank you so much for all those who have found us over the past year. Yeah, a lot of my Facebook friends, social media friends, were right there with us out of the box for day number 1. But obviously, as the days and the weeks progressed, Here, little by little, more and more of our old friends have been finding us one by one. So, welcome in. Yeah, who got to be first out of the box tonight? Yeah, of course, we have the YouTube and the Facebook. Looks like Gilligan got first, right out of the box. He was on board before the actual midnight hour rolled around. Jolly Green is on the horn, waiting to say happy anniversary. Hello to Philly Dan tonight. 24 degrees in Philadelphia. Feels like 12 right now. Stay safe, everybody, and God bless the Rambler. Copy in the mail, Chevy Guy. Richard on board from Central Florida, where it's 61 degrees. Tell you what, Richard, a lot of folks in the northern USA would love to have half of that. They'd love to have 30 degrees because in many areas, they did not even get above zero. For high temperatures on Monday, we are talking some bitterly, brutally cold air that is sweeping into the country. We'll get to our traveler's weather here in just a moment. Yes, Gilligan says, happy anniversary, cold and clear in Ironton, Virginia. High pressure pumping, congratulations on 1 year. Gerald, Georgia will win. Let all the Alabama Crimson Tide fans start crying again. Now, is the game over yet? I don't even know, honestly. I did have the game on briefly. It was 9-6, and I think that was still in the first half. So I have no idea how things have panned out there. National championship tonight, right? Hello to, Jackham, Morning Steve, and the Overnight Drive Nation. Happy 1 year anniversary. Everybody truck safe. Horse feathers on board. Morning Steve from Dave and the Savage Nation. 007 checking in from Bloomington, Illinois at the TA truck stop tonight there. Good to have you with us. Harold and so many saying congratulations on 1 year. Bo says, go Dogs. We'll always remember Steve's 1 year anniversary. Okay. Stacy, hi there. Congratulations, 1 year and many more. Hello to Kevin. Congratulations on 1 year, Steve. A toast to you and the Hot Shot Secret people. Jeff says, happy anniversary for the greatest trucking show, period. Thank you, LSI, Hot Shot Secret, and all those that call into the program. Hello from Rio, Illinois. Michael on board. Sean is with us this morning. Randolph, happy anniversary. 1 year. Zorro says, go Dogs. Dave, another night off due to the winter suddenly arriving around the eastern Great Lakes. R.I.P. to my paycheck. Yeah, you're dealing with those lake effect snows, right? I mean, they're throughout the day. Things have been getting buried with the lake effect snows. Good news, through the overnight hours, things are finally going to be winding down. Lake effect snows will end on Tuesday, but it will be a brief reprieve, a brief respite before our next big storm is going to roll in. Another big snowmaker on the horizon. More on that coming up. Morning, Steve. It's cold here in Park Rapids, Minnesota, 5 below zero at this hour. Hello to Darlene. Woohoo! Congratulations, Steve. That's Mr. Smith's daughter. Hi there, Darlene. Hello to Chad. Hey there, Chad. Congratulations on the 1 year, Steve, and thanks for taking me along for the ride. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on 1 year. Hello to Dave. Sean, Deborah says, morning, Steve. Happy 1 year anniversary. Really enjoy having you here. Stay safe out there, especially my special one. Yeah, her hubby's out there on the road. Be safe out there, special one. Santa Claus, yep, they're good to have you with us. Happy anniversary. Pappy, 1 year. Happy anniversary, overnight drive. 1 year, Steve. Let's go, Brandon. Doris, longtime listener, congratulations on your first anniversary. Dave Bray, congratulations on 1 year. Morning, Steve, from frigid New Jersey, 12 degrees and going down. Luckily, I'm off until Thursday. Congratulations to Georgia. I assume Georgia won the game. How about that? National championship? Hello to Mr. Q. Good morning. Have you on board tonight in La Grande, Oregon? There's Randolph, a.k.a. Adam 12. Feels like 0 in Buffalo, New York at this hour. Cap and Ron, check it in. Happy anniversary. Happy 1 year, 30 degrees here in West Tennessee at the home 20 tonight. There's Tank. I tested positive for COVID yesterday, he says. Oh boy, Tank. Hopefully just a mild case. Did you test because you had symptoms, weren't feeling good? I'm still waiting to see if I'm going to come down with the nasty. Let me see here. The 15 car on board. Happy anniversary. Congratulations, Steve. The legendary Big Moose. Happy 1 year. Keep it betwixt the spotted and the solid. Santa Claus says we've got 45 degrees in Kettleman City, California. Hi there, Kim. Happy anniversary, Steve, the Hot Shot Secret Studio, and all the Overnight Drive friends. And I guess we can go on and on. Everyone jumping on board tonight. Georgia wins a national championship. How about that? Let's roll to Georgia this morning. Dave Stevens says, happy 1 year anniversary. So glad you're kicking butt. Here's to 20 more years. Okay. Chilly in Jackson, Mississippi. All right, let's get to our brutally cold air. Yes, making its way through the north central states and headed into the northeast. Forecasters tell us today will be Tuesday. Today will be the coldest day of the winter so far. Bitter cold and high pressure sent temperatures plunging well below 0 across the upper Midwest and northern plains Monday morning. Temperatures in Minnesota were on par with temperatures measured at the North Pole. International Falls was at 22 below. Duluth at minus 18. And those are not wind chill factors, my friends. Those are air temperatures. Yeah, places like Duluth, as well as Grand Forks, North Dakota, did not see temperatures above 0 all day. There on Monday. Temperatures forecast to peak in the middle teens in Chicago. Now, daily temperature departures across the upper Midwest. 10 to 20 degrees below normal overnight tonight, and the gusty winds are going to make it feel that much colder. With those winds sweeping across the area, it's going to be feeling colder than the actual air temperature. Wind chills are forecast to be below 0 across northeastern Iowa, northern Illinois, and central Michigan. On northward to the Canadian border. Now, that cold air rushing over the warmer lakes has allowed for the lake effect snow showers to expand south and east of the Great Lakes through the day. Overnight, winds are going to shift directions a bit. Towns like Grand Marais and Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. High Market, New York, may have a significant snow Monday. Some places could add a foot or two. And, of course, the forecasters say parts of New York may see totals approaching 60 inches in those consistently heavy bands. Now, forecasters don't expect ice to build up that much on the lake to shut down the lake effect snow production. Some of the smaller bays with this Arctic air may freeze up and help more of the local impacts like around Green Bay, Wisconsin. But as the week progresses, the core of the cold will shift eastward. It's going to be a shocker for the East Coast. Shiver-worthy temperatures. The coldest air of the season arrives for a majority of the Northeast and portions of the Mid-Atlantic by later today, as that Arctic air plunges into the northern U.S. After you were blasted by that quick-moving snowstorm last week, then you saw some of that ice over the weekend. Get ready to bundle up. Temperatures are going to plummet. Bitterly cold air is settling in. Highs today in Boston, for instance, barely into the lower teens. I mean, more than 20 degrees below average. Schools in Boston are actually already announcing closures today due to the extreme cold. For the Boston area, I think it's safe to say Tuesday will be the coldest day probably in 3 years, going back to January of 2019. Albany, New York, temperatures forecast not to rise above 10 degrees. Normally, you'd be in the lower 30s this time of year. In some locations like Caribou, Maine, temperatures forecast to never rise above the 0 degree mark at all today. Last time temperatures failed to get above 0 in a single day there was March of 2017, and it's going to feel 5 to 10 degree lower than the actual air temperatures. So for those on the road, prepare your vehicle, have your emergency cold weather kit in case of a breakdown. Take extra care to avoid pipes bursting for the homeowners. By Wednesday, the coldest air is going to make its journey out of much of the Northeast. The Big Apple is going to see temperatures around the average of about 40, which would be expected this time of year. Boston's going to rebound back to the middle 30s. So sounds like really overnight tonight and through the day Tuesday, get ready to bundle up. And then we'll look ahead to next week. Maybe another big snowmaker for parts of the Midwest. The Great Lakes will be in the offing. But yeah, Boston's largest public school district announcing schools will be closed today. The extreme cold. The high is going to be like 12. Wind chills making it feel like 8 below. A little too cold for kids to be standing out at bus stops and whatnot. Yeah, it could feel as low as 15 below in some parts of Massachusetts. Temperatures that low can result in frostbite to exposed skin in as little as 30 minutes. Closing schools in advance of the cold, according to Boston's mayor, would be the safest approach. We want to make sure there's no risk of students being either out in the cold on the way to school or having issues in school because of the ventilations that's needed with the pandemic. Yeah, we're also dealing anyway with shortages in staffing as well as bus drivers. The New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services announcing yesterday that 4 testing sites overseen by the state will be closed because of the cold today. So those drive-through testing facilities and whatnot. And it could be even colder elsewhere in New England. Forecasters say the wind chill could approach 40 below 0 in some parts of western Maine. Yeah, Central Maine Power, the largest utility, said they expect to see a rise in electricity usage today because people are going to be firing up the electric space heaters and fireplaces. All right. Cold, cold, cold. Hey, it's wintertime, right? Just a couple weeks ago, we were talking about how unseasonably warm it is, right? All right, rolling up on 16 past the hour. Great to have you on board. We'll get to your calls right after this. 1-year anniversary. Good to be here. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
You work hard. You deserve a seat that works just as hard as you do. The Bostrom T-Series seat has provided drivers with comfort for millions of miles over the past 3 decades. Each seat is built right here in the USA and has 4-position front cushion tilt and higher low-profile air suspension with Isolator. It's also equipped with many standard and optional comfort features, such as high and mid backrests, 9.4-inch 4-aft slide adjustment, adjustable armrests, and manual or dual air lumbar support systems to keep you comfortable throughout your ride. Build your T-Series seat today at BostromSeating.com and ensure your ultimate comfort for wherever the road takes you. Bostrom Seating, the ultimate comfort for the open road.
After a long winter road trip, there's nothing like coming home to a warm, comfortable home. Hi, I'm Steve with USA Insulation. When we put our foam in your walls, it's like putting a coat around your entire home. It keeps the cold air out and the warm air in. We're getting homes ready right now for winter, and we have $1,000 savings for everyone. But because we love our truckers, we're going to give you an additional $250 discount for mentioning the show. 1-800-USA-FOAM or USAinsulation.com. Alzheimer's.net.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
Well, hello to the cat mom. Congratulations on 1 year, Steve. Your show has kept me sane during this insane past year. That's quite the compliment. Thank you, cat mom. Thanks for listening in when you get a chance. Hello to Miss Millie. Happy anniversary, Steve. And thank you, Hot Shot Secret. Everyone be safe out there. It's getting better and better. Congratulations, Steve. That's from Mark. Zorro said, yes, Georgia wins 33-18. Final score, national championship. Congratulations to Georgia. I guess it was, I don't know, only fitting maybe that you got the opportunity for a rematch with Alabama after, wasn't that like a 4 overtime game that actually got Alabama back into the top 4 to even participate for a championship? So, Hillbilly Tech's on board. Happy anniversary, Steve. We are here. Good to have you with us. Let's see. Daniel says, when I get loaded in Minnesota this morning, it'll be 18 below zero without the windshield. All right, good to have you on board. I got an actual email from Cookie, who had emailed several times over the past year. Early on in the early days of the program, her husband, who was battling cancer, who finally succumbed. Congratulations, Steve, Chris, and the crew for an entire year of great programming. May you continue to grow and prosper in all your endeavors. It's been a tough time taking care of and then saying goodbye to my beloved husband in 2021. But the Overnight Drive gang brought some levity and some interest to my ears. I will not be awake to hear the show tonight, but I'll catch the repeat via YouTube tomorrow. Thank you so much. All right, that's, again, from Cookie. Somewhere in the state of Indiana. I'm sorry about your loss there in 2021, Cookie. Hello to the Jolly Green Giant.
Good morning, Steve, and all the cartoon characters, and happy anniversary to you and Chris and all of the family that calls in. It's definitely been an interesting year. Jolly Green's made a lot of friends, and I just want to say I've really enjoyed this year. Also want to say congratulations to No Handle Joe is back to work for the first time after having COVID-19 pneumonia. And we did talk to him, and he's doing good tonight. I've encouraged him to call in and wish you happy anniversary. Sex Maniac, I'm hoping that he'll call in. I just want to say, yay, Georgia. Alabama was not unbeatable. Oh, man, they come back in the fourth quarter and then stomp their butt. Congratulations to Fly Rod's team. So that's really all I got tonight. Just want to say, man, it's definitely been an interesting year. Thanks you being back on the air. So you take care. Have a good night, Steve.
Thank you. Good to hear from you. Jolly Green, thanks for being one of our dedicated participants of the program. What do you say? Are you with me?
With you, buddy. You didn't think I'd let this important day in your life go by without calling in, did you?
You never know about you, but
forgive me.
So how you doing, Ed? I mean, you haven't hung up the keys yet, have you? What, you got a couple weeks left or what?
No, I've got what was the date? 10th. I've got 21 more days. I will hang these suckers up. I'm happy with my decision, and I'm looking forward to whatever the future might bring. Hell, I might even sit up late at night now and listen to you on the.
Yeah, you won't have anything else to do, right?
That's right, man. I just call in and harass you, or leave me on hold and let me be a co-host.
There you go.
Somebody calls in with something worth arguing about, we can get into it and light these phones up. That work?
That works for me.
Oh, I'll tell you what. That's Miguel that called in last night. Now, that was a fresh.
Yeah, they're in that final hour. Yeah, the Cuban, I think he was born here in the U.S., but his family came to the U.S. like 60 years ago. So, Cuban heritage.
Yeah, no, really. He was talking about his grandma, what she said about Kamala Harris, the V word. But, you know, he brought up a lot of good points. And that if anybody ought to know, I would think that he would be well versed in that subject since he lives in that community and dealing with the Cuban Americans and how they feel about things. That was really a great call. So hopefully you get some more like that, Steve. And I really enjoyed Grump's call. Oh, I'll tell you, that guy, he's spot on. I shot him a message today and told him he needed to run for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I was being serious as a heart attack about that. Other than that, well, old Cincinnati didn't embarrass you, did they? They played Alabama?
I don't think it was an embarrassment. I mean, obviously, yeah, Alabama won, but I guess they put up a pretty good fight. And they never got in the end zone.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought they held their own, and, you know, so hey, they were deserving to be in there, with Georgia, you know, they manhandled Michigan, but I was glad to see Georgia win tonight. And that was my humble opinion, was the best team throughout the whole college season. That Southeast Conference championship was just one of them deals. And if anybody deserves a big old congratulations, they do. That's not to take away from Alabama, because they played an outstanding game tonight, too, in my opinion. Sitting there listening to that. But other than that, Steve, I wanted to thank you and for all that you've done for me. And I know that you do for the drivers as far as the weather reports and everything. And they just, you're just really spot on with that stuff. And that's where, you know, I'll be listening, and I'll really kick it in there that first hour so I can get that weather report. And everything you do, and for being a friend, man, I'm serious.
Yes, sir. I
was going to try to aggravate you some tonight, but I thought, I won't do that, even though you disagree on that other. But hey, that's a stuff for another.
Exactly. Got plenty of time to do that at another date, which I'm sure you will. You'll stir something up. You'll find a way to stab me in the back.
Oh, I will. All right, Steve, we love you, and thank you, my friend. God bless you.
All right, Big Ed.
I pray your family gets to feeling better, buddy.
Yeah. Me too. I do have a bit of a cough coming on. I don't know. It's just... All right, the relatively quiet, albeit very, very cold weather pattern we've seen in much of the Midwest and Northeast here for the second week of January will be short-lived. Forecasters caution as they're looking for more weather trouble and some storms lurking in the long-range forecast. There's a storm originating from western Canada that will track southeastward to bring a broad zone of accumulating snow and slippery travel conditions from parts of the plains and the Midwest later this week, and even to portions of the south and interior Northeast next weekend. The storm will operate within and move along the temperature contrast zone. Even though the frigid air gripping the Midwest and Northeast will ease up by midweek, Another shot of cold air will follow later this week and this weekend. By Friday, highs again will be in the single digits across northern New England. Meanwhile, on the other side of the jet stream, temperatures climbing well into the 40s across parts of the Central Plains. Now, by the time this storm arrives at the end of the week, there will still be cold air to the north and the east, and then the mild air to the south and west. And that should keep the storm going and might even allow it to strengthen some. This is going to be an Alberta clipper that moves southeastward later this week as that next wave of cold air advances. Now, typically, as we always mention, those clipper storms that originate over western Canada tend to bring light to moderate snow along a narrow zone as they move along pretty quickly, but if circumstances allow, snow could fall over a broad zone, and some heavy snow may fall if the storm manages to strengthen and be able to tap into some moisture. Given the expected track of this system, we'll be talking a swath of several inches likely from parts of Minnesota to Iowa Friday to early Saturday. Not only does it appear that Minneapolis and Des Moines are in the path of accumulating snow, but other cities further to the east, like Chicago, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Detroit, Louisville, Kentucky, may have some flakes flying for a time coming up this weekend. And there is plenty of room for an expansion of accumulating snow that could extend eastward to include much of Wisconsin, Iowa, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Kentucky from Saturday into Saturday night. There's some different forecast scenarios about how the storm might behave once it approaches the Appalachians. The big question being, how soon might the system make a more eastward and northward turn? Cold, dry air may come in so forcefully that it may limit the ability of the storm to cause snow to spread over some of those cities in the northeast. But we'll be watching for that later this week. All right, good to have you on board. It's 844-844-3388, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is thinking ahead. In an interview Monday, he told Breitbart if Republicans win the House this November, he'll block Representatives Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and other Democratic lawmakers from serving on committees.
If Eric Swalwell cannot get a security clearance in the private sector, there's no reason why he should be given one to be on Intel or Homeland Security. Ilhan Omar should not be serving on Foreign Affairs.
Russia and the U.S. tried to talk it out, but the two remained far apart after discussions surrounding diffusing tensions at the Ukraine border idled. Moscow keeps insisting on guarantees to halt NATO's eastward expansion and even roll back the military's alliance deployments in Eastern Europe. Washington is firmly rejecting the demands as a non-starter. You're listening to USA Radio News.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more.
800-844-1675. 800-844-1675. 800-844-1675. That's 800-844-1675.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
Do you have a Dodge pickup and hate your automatic transmission? Of course you do. LaVon Miller at Firepunk Diesel here, and we specialize in heavy-duty and performance transmissions for your 3/4 or 1-ton Cummins-powered truck. So if you're interested in turning your stock slush box into a towing monster, call us today at 614-733-3744 or visit us online at shop.firepunk.com. hotshotSecret.com.
After a long winter road trip, there's nothing like coming home to a warm, comfortable home. Hi, I'm Steve with USA Insulation. We appreciate our truckers and the long hours you're putting in to serve us all. Without you, we wouldn't even get the materials to insulate. So we want you to feel like a king when you get back. We put our foam in your walls. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Keeps the cold air out and the warm air in. And with the rising energy costs, that's going to save you a bundle. We're getting homes ready for winter right now, and we have $1,000 of savings for everyone. But because we love our truckers, we're going to give you an additional $250 discount just for mentioning this show. So give us a call, 1-800-USA-FOAM. That's 1-800-USA-FOAM or usainsulation.net. We're going to give you an additional $250 discount for mentioning the show. 1-800-USA-FOAM or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. You climb into your diesel and it feels like you're sitting on an ice cube. Imagine how your engine feels after a frosty night. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. As the temperatures drop, water that is emulsified within your fuel is released, adding more water into your system. Frozen water in your fuel lines, filter, or bowl will simply slow the flow, or worse, stop the flow of fuel in your system. No fuel flow, no start. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I have one question for you. Do you want to stop worrying about the IRS? If the answer is yes, then look no further. I've been around for years, I've helped countless people across the country, and my success rate speaks for itself. So now you know where to find good, honest help with your tax problems. What are you waiting for? If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed in years, call me now at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com for a free consultation and get your life back.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
All right, thank you much, and welcome back. Who else checking in here? Norman checking in from the home 20 tonight. Finally found a driver that'll work. Yeah, well, we'll see. I'll be up all night wondering if he'll make it. Hello to Chad. Happy anniversary from Baltic, South Dakota. Bird. Doyle, congratulations, Steve, from Warren, Indiana. Thanks for keeping everyone up to date on all the issues. For many years, you've certainly done a great service to the transportation industry. Well, thank you much. Morning from Jacksonville, Florida. There's Dale. Happy anniversary. So glad Hotshot got you back to let you do what you love. There's the Michigan Man, getting ready to watch the Chili Bowl National with my rants over the past 17 years. You, sir, certainly are among the greatest voices on the airwaves. Well, thank you, Grump. Do appreciate. Show Dog waving a hand from Huntertown, Indiana. Congratulations on 1 year. A couple more here real quick. Happy anniversary to both you and Chris for putting on a great show. That's from Steve. Miggy Silva checking in from Miami, Florida. Is that Miguel? I believe it is. Miguel. Hi there. You got a lot of thumbs up for your call last night, Miguel. Let's see. Snow starting to fall in Frystown, PA. Not to mention, it's freaking cold. All right. Hey, starting this Saturday, apparently, health insurance providers, private health insurers, will be required to cover up to 8 of the home COVID tests per month for people on their plans. The announcement made on Monday, this past day, as they look to try and lower cost and make testing for the virus more convenient amid the rising frustrations out there. Under the new policy, you'll be able to either purchase home testing kits for free under their insurance or submit receipts for the tests for reimbursement, up to the monthly per-person limit. A family of 4, for instance, could be reimbursed for up to 32 tests per month, which, by the way, would get very expensive. PCR tests and rapid tests ordered or administered by a health provider will continue to be fully covered by insurance with no limit. All I know is when I've gone, I think on 3 or 4 separate occasions now in the past year, I've had to go buy a couple of test kits. And each time you have 2 kits with 2 tests, so you get a total of 4 tests. It runs you about $55 at Walgreens and CVS. That's the general deal. So, yeah, you could be talking hundreds of dollars per month for that many tests. Later this month, the government will launch a website, they tell us, to begin making 500 million at-home tests available via mail. They're also scaling up emergency rapid test sites in some of those areas seeing the greatest surge in cases. But this will reduce costs for many Americans. They're hoping that by easing a barrier to more regular at-home testing, it'll help slow the spread of the virus, get kids back to school, and help people gather safely. I don't know how it's going to do that. I mean, it's just, more and more people will know they're positive. I guess the assumption is, hey, if you test positive, stay home for 10 days, whatever the guidance is. I've lost track. Hello to Horse Feathers here on a anniversary, 1 year. Morning, Horse Feathers.
Morning, Your Honor. Yes, congratulations. 1 year. You, Chris, Hotshot Secrets, everybody behind the scenes that does all the hard work. Appreciate all of that. So I guess now the important question to ask is, how's Lisa and Mama doing?
Well, I don't know. I guess as well as can be expected. Spending a lot of time in bed, they know they've got to get up every so often. You can't lay there because that's how the pneumonia thing sets in. So, but yeah, a lot of time in bed.
Okay, I just wonder if they're starting to feel any better yet. Just hoping for the best for them here, and for a speedy recovery. So anyways, yeah, I'm actually headed. You mentioned Frystown there. I'm actually headed up to Reading right now, so I'm going to go see how cold it is up there and see how that, what is it, the Reading Railroad right there? Isn't that what we take the ride on the Reading?
Right.
Go past, collect $200. Yeah. So we're going to try to go do all that tonight, see how that works out. But I don't know. Baltimore here, we're running in the higher 20s, and so on the signs, they got a funeral going on tomorrow, supposed to affect the Baltimore Beltway. And from what I can remember, the only thing I know of in the current time was you had that woman officer in the city there that was, her and her partner were ambushed, and she was killed. So I'm thinking it's her funeral. So in the daytime tomorrow, probably somewhere between 11 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, I would assume the Baltimore Beltway is going to be pretty screwed up for the funeral procession, because there's a Memorial Cemetery where they where a lot of the officers and firefighters and that are, you know, killed on duty, you know, in the service, and, you know, if something happens, they die in the line of service, that they take them to the cemetery and for the burial and everything. But the funeral procession is usually a pretty big ordeal here on the Beltway, and they close all the exits as it goes by and everything, so you can't get on, can't get off, and pretty much have the road closed down, other than, you know, until everything's cleared out. So anyways, just if anybody's coming through Baltimore tomorrow, just be aware the Baltimore Beltway will probably be pretty well congested, messed up, and everything. Somewhere around the middle of the day there, probably like 11 to 1 or something. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. Plenty clear for the weather. Kind of partly cloudy, but as you say, chilly, and we're going to go up to Pennsylvania and find out how cold it really is up there. See if there is snow showers up there. I didn't realize there was supposed to be snow showers. I don't know if that's some lake effect scooting all the way down here from Lake Erie, because we do have a pretty stiff breeze blowing. I mean, flags are pretty much right out there straight. So I'm assuming it's coming all the way from the lake up there.
That indeed it is. That is correct. Yep.
But yeah, I know up there when we were up in New York. Now, you know, I always remembered, you know, as growing up there, that it always seemed like the coldest 2 weeks of winter were like the second, third week of January, that we'd have our coldest temperatures. You know, we'd be down below zero, and a lot of times we'd have a week where we'd stay below zero. I mean, temperatures would get down 10, 15 below overnight, and we wouldn't even get back to zero for the daytime. And so I always kind of remember the second, third week of January as being kind of cold. And so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this will be more of a regular type year here by the looks of it. But I'm sure those people up there east of Lake Ontario out there, you know, up there in Speculator and Old Forge and all that, this is their vacation season now. I mean, this is what they want. They want the snow to come in and pack down the trails and get some cold weather to get some good snowpack on those snowmobile trails. And heck, them snowmobile people, they're about out of their minds anyways, because they like to go out there and ride, you know, when it's this temperature.
I know. They're
10
nuts.
degrees and 0 and 10 below. And but you know, they get a lot of antifreeze in their system, because they go, you know, like 20 minutes, half an hour, and stop at a bar and sit there and put some antifreeze in their system, and then go down the trails a little further,
there you
ride
go.
for an hour and a half, and stop at the next establishment, put a little more antifreeze in their system, and, you know, ride on point two. Haven't heard from them in quite a while. What's going on out that way?
Yep.
So, but
maybe
anyways, that's about all we got going for it.
Get Freddie to say, "Let's go, Brandon." Apparently, his granddaughter bought him a T-shirt that said "Let's go, Brandon," and Freddie had it on, but Freddie had no idea what it actually meant, and he apparently I don't think he was real happy about wearing his "Let's go, Brandon" shirt. But you know, it's all fun in the family, right? Hey, Chad forwarded a message to me from the American Trucking Association this past day. From Bill McNamee. Said, Steve, hoping you might mention John's passing. He fought till the very end. John's motto that he always told us through every day of his battle was, stay safe, God bless, and happy trails. The memo from the ATA. It's with a very heavy heart we share word of the passing of John Lex, and America's road team captain and professional driver for Walmart Transportation. John lost his battle with cancer, passing away this past morning. Yeah, we were fortunate to welcome John at last year's MCE, honoring him with the 2021 Trucking Cares Foundation Premier Achievement Award. John was an ambassador for trucking and embodied all that's good in this industry: faith, family, country, an unwavering belief that hard work always rewarded success. John was a 32-year veteran driver, 3.1 million accident-free miles. He never quit, Whether it was teaching students about highway safety, educating the president and public officials about the industry, or fighting his own battle, he was unyielding, inspiring us all. John believed in this industry, in all of us, and the roles we each play. He leaves the world a better place than when he entered it. Please keep John, his wife Sherry, and his entire family and fellow road team captains in your thoughts and your prayers. We'll keep you posted on John's celebration of life. But I met a number of the road team captains over the years down at Mid-America Truck Show. Pretty regular there. We've had a quick timeout. Back into the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
After a long winter road trip, there's nothing like coming home to a warm, comfortable home. Hi, I'm Steve with USA Insulation. We appreciate our truckers and the long hours you're putting in to serve us all. Without you, we wouldn't even get the materials to insulate. So we want you to feel like a king when you get back. We put our foam in your walls. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Keeps the cold air out and the warm air in. And with the rising energy costs, that's going to save you a bundle. We're getting homes ready for winter right now, and we have $1,000 of savings for everyone. But because we love our truckers, we're going to give you an additional $250 discount just for mentioning this show. So give us a call, 1-800-USA-FOAM. That's 1-800-USA-FOAM or usainsulation.net. We're going to give you an additional $250 discount for mentioning the show. 1-800-USA-FOAM or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
My daughter Brinley is here at St. Jude. Coming here was literally life or death, and it was so scary. But St. Jude is fighting for one goal, like this one mission, life. And that gave us hope. We haven't received a single bill from St. Jude, so I really can just focus on what's best for Brinley.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
And now, back to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Hey, thank you much, and welcome back. Get back to your calls here at 844-844-3388. Hello to the C&I dog. Hey there.
Breaker, how about it, Steve? You got your ears on? Of course you do. You've had your ears on for over a year. I really appreciate your show. Also appreciate your sponsor. I had an 03 Audi A6. When I first drove it, it was kind of jumpy and cumbersome. Put the Hot Shot Secret in there, and I put the gas treatment, and it rides like a new car to me.
There you go.
Also had that little bit of crisis. Had a little bit of crisis with the mother-in-law's car. She put the E85 in there. And I called in the show, and he recommended to put the fuel treatment in there.
Mm-hmm.
Worked like a charm.
How about that?
Not a bug. It didn't die out or nothing. So we got over that hump. I have to personally say that your variety show, the way you have like an open forum, I've seen or heard other people try that format, and they just couldn't get over on letting people talk and speak about what they feel or their perception of life. I think you're an excellent reader. I think you're really in tune with a lot of people. I like when you even express your own feelings. I mean, like when things kind of stir you a little bit.
All right.
Because you're real. I mean, it's not like Mark Levin where he talks a certain way and then he kicks it up and then he kicks it down. You know, I like that too, but you're more real. And I'll be out here always listening. I also recommend to people the podcast. I listen on iHeartRadio. It's not everybody's favorite, but it comes through nice and clear. And I enjoy it. And I will be out there, and I'll be sending you emails, and I'll call in from time to time.
Thank you so much, CNI Dog. Yep, and I appreciate all the, he shares a lot of stories he shares with me via email, many of which I do pass your way on the program, like so many others. All right, about 5 before the hour. What do I see here? Got the Buckeye Boy on the line. Hello, Buckeye Boy.
Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
Well, I guess I can't complain. I could, but it wouldn't do me any good.
Well, I had to call in on this momentous occasion and congratulate you on 1 year of the show.
Thank you so much.
And in honor of this 1 year anniversary, I would like to read you a poem I wrote for the show.
Really? Okay.
All right. It's called Overnight Drive Anniversary. From all of the listeners of the Overnight Drive, thank you for talking all night to keep us alive. Your news and the weather are second to none, and all of the cartoon characters are really quite fun. You make us feel special as we travel the roads to pick up or deliver a variety of loads. You give us the knowledge from the powers that be that we wouldn't otherwise know or be able to see. The family of friends that your show has since gathered, to some are the only family that have really mattered. We all share together the good news and the bad, for those we all know who prosper or are sad. And together we've grieved when we lose one we know, or laugh till we peed ourselves when the big moose really let go. I have listened to you and your father for many a year, and when you were let go, I was beginning to fear that late night radio would never be the same until I saw you were getting back into the game. So I say thank you to Chris and the rest of his team for stepping up to the plate to continue the stream of the information, knowledge, and laughter we all have known. Through the professionalism in broadcasting you have always shown. Happy anniversary to the greatest of shows, and it is our job to see that it grows.
That's pretty darn good, Buckeye Boy, I got to tell you.
Well, I haven't written anything for a while, and I do like to write, and you have meant so much to me, as well as many of the other listeners that's been part of the show over the years, and I was really, really sad and upset when, your show ended, the last show ended, and, and I told everybody, I said, truck drivers at night don't have anything to listen to that's worth anything. And I said, when I found out that you were going to be back on the air, it really was a good thing. I mean, it really made me happy. And, I don't drive all night. I can't do it anymore. It just ruins me for 2 days. But, I'm up till 1, 2 o'clock, usually every night. And then I catch the podcast the next day.
Sure.
And it really, the information that you give people and the interaction you have with everybody that calls in, and you don't agree with everybody, but you give them a format to talk. And that's so important in today's climate that it really, I think, is a good avenue for us as truck drivers and for people in general. Not everybody who listens to the show is a truck driver. I know Pappy,
right.
Law officers, and you got warehouse workers, you got people just work at convenience stores and everything else. And it really is good entertainment. And I wanted to thank you and thank Chris and all of his team and everybody who's involved in making sure that the show goes on for bringing you back. And I'm hoping that you can make this wildly successful and it continues for as long as you want it to.
Buckeye Boy, thank you so much for listening in. And yeah, love to share your little comments each night, where you've been, what you've been doing. I'm glad everybody's feeling better after the COVID holidays and all that fun stuff, right? All right, there you go. We wrap up hour number 1. Hello to Bill. He says, congratulations on your year. I'm a longtime listener, 31 years in law enforcement in Columbus, running around the freeways, listening between runs. I have a lot of family in trucking. So just wanted to say safe travels to all. All right, there's a post from the Exodus Media Network. Happy to see Steve on the air. Hope the show continues to grow. All right. Patrick is on board. He says, just great. Picking up a trailer, and I've got a bad electrical problem somewhere in the pigtail. What a great way to start your night there. Sorry about that, Patrick. Jimmy Jammer, check it in. Good morning. Great to have you on board. Our number, 844-844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is thinking ahead. In an interview Monday, he told Breitbart if Republicans win the House this November, he'll block Representatives Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and other Democratic lawmakers from serving on committees.
If Eric Swalwell cannot get a security clearance in the private sector, there's no reason why he should be given one to be on Intel or Homeland Security. Ilhan Omar should not be serving on Foreign Affairs.
Russia and the U.S. tried to talk it out, but the two remained far apart after discussions surrounding diffusing tensions at the Ukraine border idled. Moscow keeps insisting on guarantees to halt NATO's eastward expansion and even roll back the military's alliance deployments in Eastern Europe. Washington is firmly rejecting the demands as a non-starter. You're listening to USA Radio News.
There are many things to think about if you are buying a home or refinancing your present one.
Like, what's better, a direct lender or a mortgage broker? We like to think that a direct lender like Fellowship Home Loans is best.
As a direct lender, there is no middleman and endless requests for more documents. This could save you time and impact your terms and rates.
As a direct lender, Fellowship Home Loans can often close your loan in less than 3 weeks. Let's talk about it at 800-804-SAVE. That's 800-804-7283 or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Regardless of your needs, Fellowship Home Loans wants to be your go-to source for home loans. Talk to a person, not a machine, at 800-804-SAVE. That's 800-804-7283 or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Home is actually our middle name, Fellowship Home Loans.
Welcome home.
Intercontinental Capital Group, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender, MLS number 60134.
Investigators are trying to determine why safety doors failed to close in a New York City high-rise when a deadly fire broke out on Sunday, killing 19 people.
At least 19 people were killed, including 9 children, when the city's deadliest fire in more than 30 years burned through a Bronx, New York apartment high-rise Sunday morning. The 5-alarm blaze was blamed on a malfunctioning space heater. Fire Commissioner Dan Nigro.
This fire began in an apartment that spans 2 floors on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the building. It started in a malfunctioning electric space heater. That was the cause of the fire.
From the West Coast USA Radio News Bureau, I'm Lance Pry.
Pfizer announced on Monday it expects to have a vaccine that targets the Omicron variant as well as other COVID-19 variants ready in March. Omicron has been described as many in the health community as a more contagious but less severe variant. You're listening to USA Radio News.
The greatest radio shows of all time.
Frank Sinatra as Rocky Fortune.
Classic radio theater.
Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
The story of Dr. Kildare.
The Pepsodent Show, starring Bob Hope.
The greatest radio shows of all time. Classic radio theater with Wyatt Cox. On this radio station or wherever podcasts are served, just by searching for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is not applauding the idea of traveling to Canada.
If you're thinking of making a trip across the country's northern border, the CDC wants you to think again. The health agency moving Canada to the highest risk category for COVID-19. The U.S.'s northern neighbors have seen nearly 300,000 new COVID-19 cases in the week ending January 8th, a new record for the pandemic. Other countries that remain in the CDC's high-risk category for COVID-19 transmission include France, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Italy, and the UK. From the USA Radio News Phoenix Bureau, I'm Tim Berg.
The Republican National Committee is suing New York City Mayor Eric Adams, the New York City Council, and the New York City Board of Elections. The lawsuit in state court centers around a new local law that permits non-citizens to vote in city elections. The RNC says the law violates the New York State Constitution, which requires voters to be U.S. citizens. U.S. doctors have transplanted a pig heart into a patient in a last-ditch effort to save his life. The procedure marks a first for medical science. Doctors at University of Maryland School of Medicine said 57-year-old David Bennett is doing well Monday, 3 days after surgery. For USA Radio News, I'm Katie Lewis.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. You climb into your diesel and it feels like you're sitting on an ice cube. Imagine how your engine feels after a frosty night. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. As the temperatures drop, water that is emulsified within your fuel is released, adding more water into your system. Frozen water in your fuel lines, filter, or bowl will simply slow the flow, or worse, stop the flow of fuel in your system. No fuel flow, no start. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Thank you much, Buckeye Boy. Got your email there. He shared with me the written version of the poem. He just read to our listening friends. So, yeah, I can share that via, like, Facebook for maybe some of our friends who may not have been listening. Which they should have been, but... All right, back at it. Round number 2 here on it's a Tuesday, right? Get our bearings straight. Congratulations to those Dogs, Georgia fans, celebrating a national championship on Monday night. Well, there you go. Roll Tide. Up. Yeah, I know my sister-in-law is not real happy about that. Sorry, Tina. Sorry. All right, under the industry headlines, quickly, beginning next month, the long-anticipated entry-level driver training rule goes into effect. Yeah, the new standard takes effect on February 7th. These regulations will set the baseline for training requirements for entry-level drivers, obviously. That would include those applying to obtain a Class A or B CDL for the first time, upgrading an existing Class B to a Class A CDL, those looking to obtain a school bus, passenger, or hazmat endorsement for the first time. These regulations are not retroactive. They point out beginning February 7th, the new entry-level regulations will require certain applicants to complete training before being permitted to take the required skills or knowledge test. Training is not required if your commercial learner's permit is issued prior to February 7. So as long as you obtain your CDL before your commercial learner permit or renewed CLP expires. It has been a long road, they tell us. It's more than 5 years since this entry-level driver training rule, which details the curriculum for individuals seeking a CDL, was published in December of 2016. At that point in time, it was set to go into effect February of 2020. But just before the rule was set to take effect, the FMCSA delayed implementation for 2 more years. So the agency would have time to complete the training provider registry. The rule does not include a specified amount of time required for behind-the-wheel training for either the range or on-the-road training. Instead, they're opting for a proficiency-based approach that would accommodate individuals who learn at different paces. The trainers will be required to check off a list of skills as each of those skills is mastered. Now, OOIDA said the rule doesn't go far enough and said the new standard should only be a start. During a driver retention roundtable back over the summer, Todd Spencer described the status quo as absolute lunacy. The driver training stuff, geez, we have so far to go in these areas. It's absolute lunacy that we have big carriers today that have a training or a trainer and a trainee in the truck, and the trainer may have no more than 6 months of experience, and they go down the road, and that passes as acceptable. All right, we supported from the very beginning of our organization, in 1973, the need for better training. We haven't got there yet, but I appreciate what the FMCSA has done. But this should just be a starter kind of thing. All right, looking at 11 past the hour. Hello to Buster this morning. How we doing, Buster?
It's Lester.
Lester. Well, hello, Lester.
Lester. Yep. Hey, how you doing today? I'm going to have to call you back because I'm running into Dayton. I got to offload and reload, and I will have to call you back in a little bit.
All right. Business is first. Take care of business there, all Lester. Right. Thank you. All right. Yeah, got priorities, right? That's what they call those. Who we got? Would that be the sex maniac, I believe? Hey there.
Hey, Steve. Well, I called in to congratulate you, but ain't much more you can say. I think Buckeye Boy laid it all out there. I can relate to everything that he said to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Buckeye Boy just put it all out there for everybody, because if it really wasn't for you, everybody out here would be purely lost. I mean, you give us all the information, the weather report, you tell us where the bad weather, right down to the line. So I think that man just put it all out there for everybody that listens to you and talks to you. So I can't really say no more than congratulations. I'm always glad to hear you back on here, but I know when you went off the air, it really pissed me off, and I thought, all the drivers are going to be lost now. But then old Chris got together with you, and you guys pulled it off. So I'm going to say congratulations. And as long as I'm out here trucking, my 44 years, I might truck one more year and give it up? I don't know yet, but as long as I'm out here, I'll always be listening to you. No problem. So, like I said, what he said, that was great. I think maybe you ought to put that on the Facebook. I'd like to maybe have a copy of that myself.
I just shared it a moment ago. I put from Buckeye Boy just now, the overnight drive anniversary, and it's right there for you.
That's great. And like I said, congratulations to you, Chris, and everybody. And we'll be listening. So take care, Steve.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you.
All right. Be safe out there. The sex maniac. All right. That frees up another line. Got plenty of room for you at 844-844-3388. Rolling up on 14 past the hour. By the way, Hot Shot Secret's #1 selling additive is known as Stiction Eliminator, which is available at Travel Centers of America and petrol stopping centers all over the country. Yeah, make your engine run better. Guaranteed, with a money-back guarantee. Grab a bottle of Stiction Eliminator today. Well, good morning, Big Moose. How's retirement so far?
Well, good morning, Mr. Well, I don't know yet. I ain't only thing been different in the last few days. I haven't been driving a damn truck. Everything else been business as usual.
Oh.
But I'm gonna start tying up loose ends here pretty quick. So, how is your anniversary evening going?
Well, I mean, we're 1 hour and 15 in, and yeah, with each passing minute, I know I'm not feeling better. I'm not feeling better. It's going the wrong direction, Moose.
Well, I tell you what. Like I said, I'm starting to buy into this homeopathy. So what you need to do here is get you some grapefruit rinds and some orange rinds, and some honey and some
lemon rinds,
apple cider vinegar.
I made a batch.
Well, now listen to me.
Yours is different than what Chris
now
said.
Now listen to me, because you might. Yeah, this is different. So after you get all them rinds and all them herbs and spices on the stove and get them cooking, get the whole house smelling good, go knock you a top off a fifth of Johnny Walker Scotch and pour that sucker down just quick as you can and get that blood alcohol level up there at about 2.9. It'll kill all them viruses. Then when you wake up, the house smells good and you feel better.
Oh, boy. Okay. And the princess wants to kill me.
Well, you'll be all right. I'm a firm believer. You get a little of that recipe in you, you'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I had that stuff once. I tell you, and you guys are talking about them night sweats and everything. I had all of that, man. I was changing them bed clothes every day, but it only lasted. The worst part of it was just a couple, 3 days. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too bad, and I think I got pretty good dose of it, but knock on wood, I ain't come back down with it. I hope you get past it pretty quick.
Well, I believe this will be my first run-in. I mean, I remember I had that nasty cold over the summer. I mean, I did one of those home tests. It came back negative. Who knows though?
Well, you don't waste your money on them home tests. They got a new test now, right?
I bet I've seen that. When you go ahead, tell everybody that doesn't know.
Yeah, you just take both your index fingers and you put one in your mouth and you put the other one up your butt and you count to 5 and then you switch fingers, and if you can't smell or taste the difference, you've got COVID.
Oh boy. You're 8 up, Moose. 8 up.
But hey, all kidding aside here, buddy, I just wanted to say thank you for all you do for us. And thanks to Chris and his team over there for all they do for us. And this has been a wonderful, wonderful platform. And met some really wonderful people. Got to spend a lot of time with some really wonderful people that I would have never known, under any other circumstance. And I feel lucky to be part of it. I'm glad that I can be a part of it. And I had a pretty rough year last year, and I can't tell you all of the cards and the phone calls and the condolences and everything that I got from this platform, and you'll never know what it meant to me. And I can't say thank you enough for everybody for everything that they done and sticking by the old man till we got through the deepest part of it. But you know that if there's ever anything I can do for you personally, or anything that I can do for you guys as a group, you know, I'm all in. You got my phone number, and you know I'm just a phone call away. And everybody keep it twixt and spotted and solid and sunny side up and all that jazz, and watch your top knot. I'll be 10-10 on the side.
All right, and let's tip of the hat or tip of the drink for a better 2022 versus, Big Moose had an awful 21, as we all know. But yeah, I just pulled up the Facebook page from the Overnight Drive, Steve Sommers Overnight Drive Facebook page. And I guess, Kyle or somebody threw that up there this past day. Tune in tonight at midnight as we put one candle on the cake. Special thanks to all the listeners, sponsors, cast of characters that make what I do all worth it. Celebrating 1 year. Got a bunch of comments, obviously. Randolph, a big congratulations to you, Mr. Sommers. There's Fly Rod. Haven't heard from Fly Rod in a while. Is he not working nights, driving days maybe? Not sure. But he said, happy anniversary, Steve. There's that Tank. Congratulations. Keep up the amazing work. Thanks for everything. You and the Hotshot Secret for believing in you and getting you back on the air. Long-time listener, listening every night. All right. Good to have you on board there, Tank. Bonnie says, happy anniversary and congratulations. My dad was a car hauler for Complete Auto Transit way back in the Twin Drive days. I listen in every night. All right, hello to Cliff. There's Greg. Congratulations, Steve, and to all who've made it happen. Congratulations on the anniversary. Overnight Drive is a service to all the truckers out there, but also to those who are providing sedan delivery, like myself. Thank you so much. And that's from Jim, one of our listening friends. Gary says, good job, Mr. Sommers. The new format absolutely rocks. Double diamond approved. Very good. There's a bunch of others, but I'll get a quick 2-minute time out here and get back to your calls. Here on a Tuesday morning, good to have you with us. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
Live from the Hotshot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. Are you one of those truck drivers that came home after a long haul and found the only thing waiting for you was a stack of IRS letters? Your significant other was gone, but your newfound IRS problem is still there. I've heard this story many times over the years. While I can't help you with your broken heart, I can fix your tax problems. If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed for many years, call me for a free consultation at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. Like I always say, you keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS.
145 over 92.
180 over 111. I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
stiction.
Found throughout the oil system, stiction is the sticky friction that negatively impacts your engine's ability to function at an optimal level. The molecular structure of oil is a hydrocarbon. The engine's extreme heat, tight tolerances, and high pressure cause the oil to break down and release hydrogen, leaving behind varnish, a carbon-based deposit. The varnish clings to the engine's moving parts parts, creating drag on the turbocharger, oil pump, and pistons. Symptoms of stiction include a rough idle and the loss of fuel economy and performance. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator delivers a 98% clean rating in third-party scrub tests. Its synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Stiction Eliminator is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All righty, 24 past the hour and back to the calls here. Who's next up on the list here? Hey, it looks like Miguel is back on board. Hello, Miguel. How we doing this morning?
Well, Steve, want to congratulate you, man, on the whole year.
Thank you very much, Miguel.
Hello.
Yes. So hey, it was good to hear from you last night. I know you had a lot of folks that really appreciated you taking the time to pick up the phone and dial us up here.
I'll be honest with you. I was super nervous. I never called a live radio station. I was super nervous, but I think the call got disconnected on my end or something. I don't know why I got hung up so early, but I really appreciate you putting me on the air and letting me speak with you, and I really appreciate all your listeners, liking what I said, honestly. Yeah, I heard a lot of you listeners say that Cuban guy, I always want to mention, I'm also Venezuelan. I'm also from another socialist country, from my dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm from both the fence. And, I really appreciate what you do for us truck drivers, honestly. I just started listening to you yesterday because I follow a YouTuber who listens to you. I'm like, wow, I like what he speaks. And I started listening to you yesterday. I love your format. I love what you do for the truck drivers. I love listening to other truck drivers speak. Everyone has such fine points, man, such fine points. I really appreciate everything you do for us.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Miguel. I'm glad you found us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good morning. Safe trucking there in the state of Florida. Down in the Miami area, right? Let me see here. Some of our other listening friends checking in. Steve, been listening for 15 plus years from Northeast Ohio. I'm in law enforcement as well. I used to listen when on third shift, when 700 was on Sirius XM. Now I work day shift. Let's see, police chief. Still listen until I fall asleep. I remember when your son was still in high school, then graduated, began to serve our country. So just keep up the great work. Hey, thank you so much for what you do out there as well, serving and protecting there in Northeast Ohio. Let's see. Brenda says, Buckeye Boy just said it all. I don't drive a truck. Well, I can drive a pickup, but that doesn't count. Thanks for having a professional and entertaining show. I'm a second-generation night owl. My mom always listened to your dad. Thank you to Hot Shot Secret for making this happen. And Matthew also said, by the way, thanks for your support in supplying the thin blue line flag on the wall in your background. Yeah, I got a thin blue line right in front of me, and I think, we got another as well. Yes, sir. Well, of course, my son is in law enforcement now, so I'm all about that. Thank you very much. Happy anniversary from the Kentucky Mud Dog this morning. Heat wave on board. Morning from Susanville, California. Cool, clear, 40 degrees. Congratulations on the 1-year anniversary. There you go. Let's see. Happy anniversary to Mr. Sommers. I'm very thankful to the Hotshot Secret Company for supporting you and the thousands of listeners who benefit from the overnight show and the great night workers out there. Hello to Doc Holliday. Hello, Doc. What's going on? Said you're getting a busy signal. Yeah, we got you. Oh, he got through. Hey, we'll get you coming up here in just a bit there, Doc. How about them dogs, he says. All right. Well, speaking of which, we haven't heard from him in a blue moon. What's going on, Doc?
How about them dogs, Steve?
I know. You're celebrating, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm up here at the casino in New York, and I was watching it on the screen while I was playing poker.
I was going to ask. I kind of figured you'd be at a casino somewhere to watch the big game.
Well, I got snowed in, Steve, so I had to stop at the casino. It was just a terrible situation.
Terrible.
It was just snowing real bad. It was just snowing real bad, so I had to shut it down. So, you know how it goes.
So
but them dogs, they whooped Alabama's butt, didn't they?
How much did you have on your dog? Now, you're the big gambling man. Did you have any money on those dogs?
Well, Steve, I'm a dog fan. No, I mean, I pull for my dogs all the time. But I really thought Alabama was going to win the game. So.
You didn't. You put your money on the Tide?
Yeah, I did, Steve, because I didn't think we could beat them.
Oh, boy.
So I lost a little money. But I'm still glad the dogs won, but I cannot lie, Steve. I bet it against my own team.
I'll be darned. How about that? Well, at least you got the kahunas to live on, to speak up and admit it. So
that's a terrible situation, Steve. I should never bet against your own team. That cost me a few grand, Steve. I just shouldn't have betted against my own team.
Dumbass.
It's just I know, dumbass me. It's just every time the dogs play Alabama, they can't never beat Alabama. No matter what, they just can't beat Alabama. And then tonight, what did the dogs do? It's I can't say it on air, but them SOBs, they beat Alabama, didn't they?
They sure did.
Yep, they whooped them up. What was it, 30-something to 18?
38, I believe it was. 33 to 18, something like that, yeah.
I don't know how that happened, Steve. I don't know how that happened. But, Steve, on another subject, let me get to another subject here, because I'm really pissed off tonight. I am really mad at these Democrats. They trying to push this bill through, or two bills they're trying to push through, and they trying to make out like that Manchin and Sinema are just, and, Steve, this crap just makes me madder than hell. Because if you remember a few years ago, the Democrats were saying, the Republicans are going to kill the filibuster and all this stuff. Oh, they wasn't for it. But now when it's in their favor, they want to try to kill it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, Steve, this stuff, I'm just so sick of these politics and all this stuff going on. I don't know what to do, but I would like to say kudos to Joe Manchin and kudos to Kristen Sinema. Stick by your damn guns and do not kill this filibuster. Because this new thing they're trying to get out is they're trying to take away the states' rights to decide how they want to make voting laws. And Steve, they're not trying to take away nobody's votes to right.
Right.
Let me rephrase that, Steve.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They aren't trying to take away nobody's right to vote. They're just trying to make it to where all these mail-in ballots and all these voter no IDs and all that. Look at what New York just did today. Eric Adams just made it so illegals could vote.
800,000 illegals. 800,000 will now be able to vote. Yep.
Well, they will be able to vote in New York, and they're trying to get that worldwide, what they're trying to do. so the damn Democrats can just take over and just do what they want to do. And that's all this crap is about. And Steve, I'm so sick of it, I don't know what to do. I am a mad American, is what I am. I'm a pissed off American. Because I am so sick of this, and I hope Manchin and Sinema stick by their guns and do not go along with what they want to do. So if you're listening tonight, Joe Manchin, stick by what you're doing, because you will win next election by sticking by what you're doing. I'm just mad, Steve. I'm just upset about this crap.
Well, and you should be. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
You should be.
It's crazy. But anyway, I'll get off here. I know you're ready for a break, so I'll get off of here and let somebody else get on. But Steve, it was good talking to you tonight, and all I can say is, how about them dogs?
All right, 33-18 final score, national championship. There you go. We get a news break. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is thinking ahead. In an interview Monday, he told Breitbart if Republicans win the House this November, he'll block Representatives Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and other Democratic lawmakers from serving on committees.
If Eric Swalwell cannot get a security clearance in the private sector, there's no reason why he should be given one to be on Intel or Homeland Security. Ilhan Omar should not be serving on foreign affairs.
Russia and the U.S. tried to talk it out, but the two remained far apart after discussions surrounding diffusing tensions at the Ukraine border idled. Moscow keeps insisting on guarantees to halt NATO's eastward expansion and even roll back the military's alliance deployments in Eastern Europe. Washington is firmly rejecting the demands as a non-starter. You're listening to USA Radio News.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more.
800-844-1675. 800-844-1675. 800-844-1675. That's 800-844-1675.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
The Hot Shot Secret Facebook page gets a lot of robust Q&A about diesel problems and their solutions. We listen to our customers. Here are their words straight from their mouths about Hot Shot Secret everyday diesel treatment. Our fans call it EDT.
I'm John Sharp, a.k.a. Jay Sharp from Newburgh, Pennsylvania. Using EDT, my local fuel mileage went to average of 22 to 23, and my highway MPG went to 26 to 28.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm from Arizona. I drive an 02 Ford Excursion. I use EDT at every fill-up, and my mileage went from 12.5 miles per gallon to 14 miles per gallon. I highly recommend it.
Everyday diesel treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday diesel treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
How do you sleep on the road? After downtime, do you wake up well-rested and invigorated or tired, achy, and sore? Well, if it's the latter, you're not sleeping on the Big Rig Mattress. The Big Rig Mattress is a hybrid with an individually pocketed spring core that's engineered to deliver the best restorative sleep for your time on the road. Learn more about the Big Rig Mattress at thebigrigmattress.com or call 877-736-4233. The Big Rig Mattress, 100% made in the USA since 2009.
You work hard. You deserve a seat that works just as hard as you do. The Bostrom T-Series seat has provided drivers with comfort for millions of miles over the past 3 decades. Each seat is built right here in the USA and has 4-position front cushion tilt and higher low-profile air suspension with isolator. It's also equipped with many standard and optional comfort features, such as high and mid backrests, 9.4-inch fore-aft slide adjustment, adjustable armrests, and manual or dual air lumbar support systems to keep you comfortable throughout your ride. Build your T-Series seat today at BostromSeating.com and ensure your ultimate comfort for wherever the road takes you. Bostrom Seating, the ultimate comfort for the open road.
At Turbo 3000, our founder Andy Matouche firmly believed you should challenge yourself.
Put the most money back in your pocket where it belongs. Four Wheeler magazine took our challenge and they wrote it did exactly what we said it would do.
As fuel prices keep going up, get your Turbo 3000 from manufacturer direct. Call us at 888-311-9993. Always free shipping in the USA, and for a limited time, save $45 off total purchase using coupon code STEVESAVES at turbo3000.com.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
All right, from the email bag, Steve at hotshotsecret.com. Let's see here. Hey, Steve, just wanted to say congratulations on the big anniversary. I had the chance to have lunch yesterday with the Big Moose. I was sitting at Clopay Garage Door Plant in Troy, Ohio, and gave him a call. I told him I was in town, and he offered to come pick me up and take me to lunch. Well, he came strolling up in the lot with a huge red Cadillac. And I hopped in. We went to Bob Evans for lunch. You really have a lot of wonderful people listening and participating in your show. I'm happy to be a loyal listener. Thanks for everything. And that was from Push to Start. That's the gentleman that Big Moose, actually, when he was out there driving truck, gave him a push to get his truck started when his starter, I believe, memory serves, his starter had gone out, and was able to get him back to the shop to get repairs done. So I think Moose gave him that handle, Push to Start. Good to have you with us, though. Thanks for being a loyal listener. Donut Man, what's happening?
Oh, not too much. Happy anniversary, Steve. Can't
Thank
believe
you.
it's been a year already since you started this. I want to thank Chris and everybody and Buckeye Boy. I don't think anybody could have said it better than how you said it, brother. That was really touching. It was great. I don't think anybody could have said it any better, Steve. I know you and your dad's gotten me through a lot of nights since 1987 when I started listening to your dad. I still remember when you came to town, and can't believe it's been a year since the overnight drive. Doesn't seem like it's been that long already.
All right, you're telling me, yeah.
Are we getting old that fast?
Yeah, we are.
Things going faster now as we get older? Or? Man, it just doesn't seem like it's been a year already. I know I want to thank you because I've got to meet a lot of great people every year at the Mid-America Truck Show thanks to this program. And
No, it's one of the things we always look forward to every year, and I'm hoping we can still do it this year. We've already got, me and the wife's already got registered. We got our hotel reservations made and everything for the big show, and I'm hoping we get to do it this year, but I'm getting kind of nervous with this new strand of COVID.
Hopefully, I mean, if the experts are right, they're kind of predicting that they're saying by February, we should be definitely on the downward trend. So many people have got sick so fast that really that whole thing about the whole herd immunity may actually become a reality with this strain.
I hope so, because, man, it's like you said, you talked the other night there. Yes, it'd be 3 years since we've seen everybody.
Yes.
Well, other than I saw you at the Bean and Colette there a couple months ago at the festival, but it's been 3 years since we've seen Monkey Gouger. And hoping Doc Holliday might make it this year because he hasn't been for a while. He was always kind of a character. You want to turn everything into a poker table.
That's what I was going to say. Only way
because that would make a great poker table.
The only way he would show up is if they got some sort of a big poker tournament going out there in the parking lot.
Poker tournament.
Yep.
That's right. Either that or put some slot machines up in the race. But man, I tell you what, congratulations on getting this program up and going, Steve. You know how I've appreciated you, and for I don't know how many years it's been now, but it's been over 20 at least. Because I think still, I think Stephen was in high school yet, and I think Bethany was barely in high school when he first came to town, and it's been that long. You've watched my kids grow up.
Yep.
You've seen my grandkids starting to grow up, and I get to see your grandkids grow up. It's been a great couple of years. That little short spell when you weren't on to listen to, it's like I can't remember who it was that said, we'd be lost, and we were. It just wasn't the same without you on at night. You guys have gotten me through many a nights over the years, and I appreciate what you do. I appreciate Chris getting us together, and hopefully we can start running now and grow the show more and get more as we get more and more of the family back together and start to get new listeners to the program, and hope things just keep going forward like they are. And you stay around for a long time, Steve, because you've been a part of our lives for many years, getting us through nights and keeping us informed, and weather and trucking with different rule changes and things going on with the trucking industry, and you're just greatly appreciated. The listeners out there, Horse Feathers and Big Moose. If you ever need anything, Moose, I live in Park Lane, which is not too far from you. If you ever need something to help with, just shoot me a message here on Facebook or whatever, and see what we can do to help you out if you ever need it, because you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from me. So, or if anybody gets up around the Dayton area, just shoot me a message on the page or whatever over a weekend or something. Hell, I'd be happy to go to lunch or something with a lot of you guys, because you guys have been part of my nights for a long time.
Yes, sir.
It's entertaining.
How many years has it been? How many years has it been since you were actually up at this time of the morning making donuts?
Oh, well, let's see. I started back in March of '87. I found your dad right after my daughter was born. I was trying to find something to listen to on the radio, and it was probably like the first week of April in 1987 when I came across your dad. Then I got mad because back then they didn't have a Friday night show and a Saturday night show. They just had infomercials and stuff on the weekends.
Yeah,
they actually brought a guy named Daryl R. Mitchell started the weekends a few years later, and you came to town, and I remember you and Squirrel and your dad took the Canadian road trip up the 401. And we're going back a few years, I think, Steve.
Yeah, that was
put up with my nonsense.
That would have been 1996 when we did the whole. Hit the 401 on up into Spent the night in, I believe it was Kingston, Ontario, where for whatever reason it seems like they rolled up the sidewalks about the time the sun went down. Nothing going on there. But, yeah, beautiful territory up there, though. All right. Some of our other listening friends. Hello to the hired gun. Morning, Steve. I started trucking in late 1983. Found your dad when he joined 700 in 1984. Yeah, I've been here with him and you ever since, along with all the others. That includes the likes of Charlie Douglas, Bill Mack, Art Bell, Larry Scott, and a couple of others. Thank you for the many years you and the rest have kept us company through so many miles. All right, to the Dipsy driver this morning. Congrats, Steve. Talk about coincidence. 1 degree for a low in mid-Michigan on your 1-year anniversary. Everything's coming up ones this morning, right? Let's see. Yeah, Alabama is already pegged by the Vegas odds makers as favorites to win the title next season, followed by Georgia and Ohio State. Hell, the ink hasn't even dried from the stats of the game they just played, and they're already putting the odds out for next season? Okay. And with that, about 10 before the hour, back in 2, here the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. Are you one of those truck drivers that came home after a long haul and found the only thing waiting for you was a stack of IRS letters? Your significant other was gone, but your newfound IRS problem is still there. I've heard this story many times over the years. While I can't help you with your broken heart, I can fix your tax problems. If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed for many years, call me for a free consultation at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. Like I always say, you keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS.
145 over 92.
180 over 111. I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
stiction.
Found throughout the oil system, stiction is the sticky friction that negatively impacts your engine's ability to function at an optimal level. The molecular structure of oil is a hydrocarbon. The engine's extreme heat, tight tolerances, and high pressure cause the oil to break down and release hydrogen, leaving behind varnish, a carbon-based deposit. The varnish clings to the engine's moving parts, creating drag on the turbocharger, oil pump, and pistons. Symptoms of stiction include a rough idle and the loss of fuel economy and performance. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator delivers a 98% clean rating in third-party scrub tests. Its synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Stiction Eliminator is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
Hey, what do you say? Are you one of those hot and spicy kind of people? I kind of tend to think I am. I like my hot wings, and I don't like the crazy hot stuff. But I may be willing to try this. Arby's is daring you to try what they're calling the spiciest sandwich on the market. Starting Monday, the fast food chain is bringing the heat with the new Diablo Dare sandwich. I dare you. It'll come in 2 varieties. You got the crispy chicken or the smoked brisket. I said these will be limited time sandwiches, come with 5 sources of heat, which will be ghost pepper jack cheese, fiery hot seasoning, fire roasted jalapenos, and Diablo barbecue sauce served on a red chipotle bun. Arby's said the sandwich is so spicy we had to include a free vanilla shake to cool your mouth between bites. Uh-oh. The Diablo Dare will be available through February the 6th at participating locations nationwide. Starts at $5.99. That includes the free snack size shake. Now, Arby's chief marketing officer says this is not a sandwich for the faint of heart. Everyone in the quick service restaurant industry says, they have a spicy option, but our research tells us consumers are disappointed by fast food claims of spicy. We took that as a challenge by making sure all different types of spicy, the hot, the numbing, the lingering, are all combined to make the Diablo Dare a true test of how much heat you can handle. That may be a little hotter than I'm akin to. Arby's also will have a challenge on TikTok with the Arby's Diablo Dare starting January the 18th. You can go to TikTok and use a branded effect filter to show followers how much of the Diablo Dare sandwich you can actually take before reaching for the vanilla shake. So that must be really hot. I don't know. I might have to pass on that. Well, let somebody else try it out. But would this be Brandon?
No, it'd be Brain Dead.
Oh, Brain Dead. Well, I was going to say, let's go, Brandon.
And that's probably going to be my alter ego twin brother somewhere. But that sandwich there, I know a couple people that could probably polish that thing off. I'm going to have to remind them to tell them that. But yeah, there's a dare right there for me to go nowhere near it.
Oh, really? You don't like the hot?
Ask Dingbat. Yeah. No. I'll pass. But how's your weekend, Steve?
Weekend was all right. As with each passing day, I was thinking, hey, I made it through another day without coming down with the COVID from Mama or my wife. But I'm beginning to feel it this morning.
Yeah, and congratulations on your 1-year anniversary, because, I go back to about midsummer 2001, and I really started listening to your dad and you on the weekends. And I go back even further when I was able to catch, it was about 93 when I was able to catch your dad, Bill Mack, or Nemo, which really got me into the trucking industry. Hearing all the stories of the drivers, and was your dad and his cast of characters, like you have your cast of characters, just really got me into the trucking industry. And I've been in this industry 23 years. I keep saying, next year's the last year. So I don't know. It's interesting how things have changed over the last few years or so. But you will probably won't be hearing from Dingbat for a while.
Well, what's going on with Dingbat?
Oh, buddy, let me tell you, it was a pretty interesting weekend around our little hacienda. I mean, our little place. See, poor Dingbat lost her voice. See, she got a phone call from a certain individual that wound up in Atlanta, Texas. And, he was kind of hot, so to speak, about being out there so far. She told him flat out, and they got into it pretty bad, that she only had enough money to get him there and could not get him to that Albuquerque place, because she couldn't even spell the word Albuquerque to begin with. So anyway, he wanted to know who spiked his drink. Well, poor Dingbat said, well, she was told to spice it, not spike it.
Oh.
However, it came to light that Eskimo Mom apparently spiked his drink. Now, I think there was maybe something in that pumpkin spice that they both used to to spice his drink up a little bit, but should be legally a crime to use pumpkin spice anytime after Christmas, right?
Yeah, right.
So they use this pumpkin spice to spice and spike his drink with. So and now we call her Squeaky McCheese now. Because she's literally squeaking like a little mouse when you get her mad. And knowing my luck, she'll be calling me in about 3 seconds too, Steve. So let me let you go.
Have a good morning. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for our Dumbass of the Week nominees, all that fun stuff, your participation over the years. Brain dead. Let's go, Brandon. That's 2 times he's called in a row where the little computer said, it's Brandon. And meanwhile, all right, we'll get back to Pappy. Got you coming up. There's, looks like Lester's back. Heat wave on board. And room for you at 844-844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is thinking ahead. In an interview Monday, he told Breitbart if Republicans win the House this November, he'll block Representatives Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and other Democratic lawmakers from serving on committees.
If Eric Swalwell cannot get a security clearance in the private sector, there's no reason why he should be given one to be on Intel or Homeland Security. Ilhan Omar should not be serving on foreign affairs.
Russia and the U.S. tried to talk it out, but the two remained far apart after discussions surrounding diffusing tensions at the Ukraine border idled. Moscow keeps insisting on guarantees to halt NATO's eastward expansion and even roll back the military's alliance deployments in Eastern Europe. Washington is firmly rejecting the demands as a non-starter. You're listening to USA Radio News.
There are many things to think about if you are buying a home or refinancing your present one.
Like, what's better, a direct lender or a mortgage broker? We like to think that a direct lender like Fellowship Home Loans is best.
As a direct lender, there is no middleman and endless requests for more documents. This could save you time and impact your terms and rates.
As a direct lender, Fellowship Home Loans can often close your loan in less than 3 weeks. Let's talk about it at 800-804-SAVE. That's 800-804-7283 or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Regardless of your needs, Fellowship Home Loans wants to be your go-to source for home loans. Talk to a person, not a machine, at 800-804-SAVE. That's 800-804-7283 or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Home is actually our middle name, Fellowship Home Loans.
Welcome home.
Intercontinental Capital Group, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender, MLS number 60134.
Investigators are trying to determine why safety doors failed to close in a New York City high-rise when a deadly fire broke out on Sunday, killing 19 people.
At least 19 people were killed, including 9 children, when the city's deadliest fire in more than 30 years burned through a Bronx, New York apartment high-rise Sunday morning. The 5-alarm blaze was blamed on a malfunctioning space heater. Fire Commissioner Dan Nigro.
This fire began in an apartment that spans 2 floors on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the building. It started in a malfunctioning electric space heater. That was the cause of the fire.
From the West Coast USA Radio News Bureau, I'm Lance Pry.
Pfizer announced on Monday it expects to have a vaccine that targets the Omicron variant as well as other COVID-19 variants ready in March. Omicron has been described as many in the health community as a more contagious but less severe variant. You're listening to USA Radio News.
The greatest radio shows of all time.
Frank Sinatra as Rocky Fortune.
Classic radio theater.
Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
The story of Dr. Kildare.
The Pepsodent Show, starring Bob Hope.
The greatest radio shows of all time. Classic radio theater with Wyatt Cox. On this radio station or wherever podcasts are served, just by searching for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is not applauding the idea of traveling to Canada.
If you're thinking of making a trip across the country's northern border, the CDC wants you to think again. The health agency moving Canada to the highest risk category for COVID-19. The U.S.'s northern neighbors have seen nearly 300,000 new COVID-19 cases in the week ending January 8th, a new record for the pandemic. Other countries that remain in the CDC's high-risk category for COVID-19 transmission include France, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Italy, and the UK. From the USA Radio News Phoenix Bureau, I'm Tim Berg.
The Republican National Committee is suing New York City Mayor Eric Adams, the New York City Council, and the New York City Board of Elections. The lawsuit in state court centers around a new local law that permits non-citizens to vote in city elections. The RNC says the law violates the New York State Constitution, which requires voters to be U.S. citizens. U.S. doctors have transplanted a pig heart into a patient in a last-ditch effort to save his life. The procedure marks a first for medical science. Doctors at University of Maryland School of Medicine said 57-year-old David Bennett is doing well Monday, 3 days after surgery. For USA Radio News, I'm Katie Lewis.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of a cab. Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Much. Welcome back another hour as we roll into a Tuesday 1 year anniversary of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. From the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Yeah, the secret bunker. Someone went back and I guess he took a screenshot from that very first show this morning 1 year ago. They said, you notice how much you've added since then. Yeah, he's talking about, yeah, the background. I guess that first night we had a couple of various. I think we had the Caterpillar. I think we had a Mac sign back there. We had 3 or 4 of them, and continued to add. I think we got pretty much all the name brands, the OEMs up there. We got the Trucker's Prayer and all that good stuff. Trucker parking only. Yep, a lot has changed. And of course, we've got all the product. Well, not all. A lot of the product being displayed right there before me. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, like the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme, the Gasoline Extreme, the Stick Shit Eliminator, the Spray and Stay Grease, and so much more. Some of the Blue Diamond and Adrenaline Racing Oils behind us there. Yeah, you can find the full line of products at hotshotsecret.com. And anytime, use the coupon code Overnight Drive. Get 10% off your entire order, in addition to the 10% that's always offered for first responders, active or veteran military, CDL holders. So you get 20% off your order. All right, who we got here? I believe Art is on board. Steve, thank you for the greatest show on earth. I wait all day for this show. Started trucking in 1975. Now, I tell everybody I meet and run into to listen to your show. I tell them your show is very addictive. Once you start listening, you'll be up most of the night, but that's a good thing. It just makes people feel good, and today we need as much of that as we can get. I sure do appreciate it. And all the guys that are out there in the road, trying to keep this country alive. God bless and thank you very much. I'm now retired, but I stay up most of the night just to listen to your radio program. And I'll be up listening tonight. Yeah, all I can say about the weather, I live in Michigan. It's very cold tonight. Currently says 5 degrees on my back porch. That's cold enough. Yes, it is. All right, it is 844-844-3388. What's happening tonight, Pappy?
Steve, if anybody could push a big rig 18-wheeler down the road to push start that thing, it's Big Moose. Come on.
I hear you. Yeah, right.
1 year, Steve.
1 year.
Damn, man. I remember, a year ago, Steve, I was down in the gun room, probably making bullets or doing something down there. And I remember calling in, Steve. I was stoked.
Right, Lincoln 31, Lincoln 32, and 3.
That Chris did what he did and got you guys back on the air. And Steve, I'm just curious. I don't know for sure, but how many years have you been doing this?
Well, the overnight truck show since 1996. I started with my dad in 96 and did like the weekends and whatnot. And I took over in 04 for him full time when he retired from 700.
Right.
And up till 2020, I guess that was.
Wow. So many years in the biz, and this is just 1 year. This is just a stepping stone, Steve. And, man, thanks to the Chris and Hot Shot Secrets for doing what he did and providing, these products that he puts out to keep our vehicles running and lasting longer than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But, man, I'll tell you, Steve, I wish God didn't grant me with the ability to articulate my words. So with that said, Buckeye Boy nailed it, Steve, with that poem. So tonight, Buckeye Boy gets the big cookie for tonight.
There you go.
I think he expressed it very well, better than most of us could or can. So, yeah, man, congratulations, Steve. I was going to punch in the coordinates to come to the secret bunker. But when you started saying you weren't feeling that good, I'm like,
no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Plus, it's 15 degrees out here in the west.
It's cold. Yep, cold out there.
Oh, but hey, congratulations. Again, I'll get off here so somebody else can get in here, but just wanted to call you and congratulate you on a job well done, my man.
Thank you very much, Pappity. Thanks for being a friend and a listener for however many years it's been now. It's been a while, but, time flies. Those calendar pages are just ticking off one after another. Going up on 11 past the hour. Matter of fact, yesterday, or this week, I should say, marks the 7-year anniversary of a historic pileup crash that happened in Michigan involving nearly 200 vehicles. That infamous crash during the winter conditions, January the 9th of 2015, that was on I-94 near Galesburg, Michigan. When all was said and done, the carnage left 76 semi-trucks and 117 passenger vehicles collided, shutting down both directions of I-94 for 18 hours for the massive rescue and cleanup. There was a Canadian truck driver that lost his life in that crash. 18 others were injured. Though the crash was ultimately blamed on unsafe driving, with several drivers receiving citations. The Michigan DOT has made efforts to improve I-94 to prevent a crash like this from ever happening again. They've resurfaced, they've put more traffic cameras, new weather information systems in place. But Yeah, 200 vehicles. What a mess that was. Meanwhile, who we got there? Lester is back with us once again. Take two, Lester. Thanks for dialing us back.
Hey, no problem, Steve. Hey, Jim, I'll call you back in a little bit, but I had to get that out real fast. Hey, congratulations on 1 year, but I know you've got many, many years under your belt there. And did I hear it correctly with Weather Chaser Propane 1, a.k.a. Horse Feathers, didn't know it was going to be snowing in Pittsburgh area or Pennsylvania?
Yes, I believe he was questioning that.
Yeah, if he's up on this weather, then how come he doesn't know that it's going to be snowing up there or flurrying up there? We're going to have to take that title away from him because, well, no, I guess not. You're allowed 50. Weatherman's 50% correct 50% of the time, I guess. Well, I guess that's okay. Well, good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the radar. I got some decent lake effect snow bands from like Lewistown to Altoona. And then from, say, just north of Johnstown up to mostly north of Pittsburgh on up toward, all the way up into Salem. Well, is that Ohio? Salem, Ohio. Those lake effect snows are streaming pretty far away from the lakes.
Yeah. Well, I hope it stays away from Pittsburgh a little bit, at least for a few hours until I get up there and get back. I have today to finish up, and tomorrow will be my last day. I'll be like Big Ed. You with me, Steve?
Are you with me?
I know why Big Ed's going to sit home and watch you on TV. I figured it out. He is going to watch you on TV to make sure that you're not going to be playing any poker games.
Well, he doesn't have to watch me to know that. He don't have to watch. He can tell. He's a sneaker. He knows those backdoor ways.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to pay more attention to the live camera view. You could always take a picture of yourself and put it in front of the camera, and then he wouldn't even know. That'd be like a still shot, though. But I don't know. So Big Ed's got a couple more days left, and then I got one more day left, and we'll all be retiring, I guess. We're all going together, I guess.
Yeah.
But so the Mid-American show is going on this year?
Yeah, that's the plan. March 24th through the 26th. That's the slated dates if all goes as planned. Yeah, the registration is open right now if you want to early register for free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to go ahead and get my tickets ready and everything. But that's mainly, I just wanted to call you and congratulate you on your year. And I know you got many, many, many of years in and everything. And I hope your family feels better and everything. And I want to say, hey, Grandpa, be safe going down to Louisville there. And I just wanted to holler at you and before I left out of here.
All right. Well,
and I will be talking to you later.
Be in touch, and enjoy your retirement. I'm sure we'll talk somewhere down the line. Yes, there you go. Congratulations. And 17 past the hour. Back as we roll into a Tuesday, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings